Good afternoon, I'm Mary Morrison.
And I'm Barclay Bishop. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with a funeral service for a fallen Richmond County narcotics investigator.
That's right, Barclay. 51-year-old Cecil Ridley was killed a week ago today at a convenience store on the corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard at 12th Street. Sheriff Richard Roundtree says Ridley was conducting a specialized operation when he was shot and killed. The Army veteran was a husband, father of 6, and a grandfather. He served with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office for 17 years.
The funeral started about an hour ago at Warren Baptist Church in Augusta, and that is where we find News Channel 6's Renetta Dubose. Renetta, you were inside. Share a little bit of what you've heard.
Barclay, Mary, a very large showing of law enforcement, family, and community support all filled a Warren Baptist Church just an hour ago, walking in one by one to pay their respects. Right now, they're all saying their goodbyes, and in just a few minutes, the funeral will be over. 2 ministers are presiding over Investigator Ridley's funeral service, Reverend Bobby Hankerson and Reverend Melvin Laurie. They each have a role to play here. Richmond County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard are the pallbearers. Members of the Narcotics Division and Marshal's Office are the honorary pallbearers. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp also arrived earlier just before the funeral started. Since so many officers are attending the funeral service, Georgia State Troopers are serving in the county in their place at this time. The family has requested that in lieu of flowers, donations be made to the Police Benevolent Foundation of Georgia. Tonight we will hear more on News Channel 6 at 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 11, 10 as well on MeTV from community members and those who attended this funeral. For now, we are live in Augusta. WJBF News Channel 6, back to you.
Renetta, thank you so much. Now, that processional route leading to burial at Bellevue Memorial Gardens will be lined with supporters.
Yeah, last night over 1,000 American flags were placed along that route. And joining us now is News Channel 6's George Escala. He's on Washington Road at Bobby Jones Expressway. George, what can they expect this afternoon?
Well, Barclay, I am standing here along a flag-lined, blue ribbon-lined Washington Road awaiting along Washington Road is its normal noon hour rush, but once the services conclude at Warren Baptist Church, the procession will come west along Washington Road past where we are standing here, then turn left onto Columbia Road, several miles along Columbia Road. Then it will turn left onto Bel Air Road, and then right onto Wrightsboro Road, ending at Bellevue Memorial Gardens. Investigator Ridley will be escorted with full law enforcement honors to the Memorial Gardens, which are in Grovetown. Now, Columbia County Sheriff's Office is handling the traffic, saying you could expect delays through this time and until late afternoon. Probably best, if you have to use any of these roads, best to avoid them if you can, to stay away until later this afternoon. Barry, Barclay, back to you.
All right, George, thanks so much. And next year, the honors will continue for Deputy Ridley. He will be recognized in the nation's capital during National Police Week. His name will be etched in the memorial wall in Washington, D.C. in May. And the idea for that wall was actually started by former U.S. President John F. Kennedy. Already 110 officers have died on the job this year. Right now, we find News Channel 6's Ashley Osborne on part of that route at Washington Road near Pleasant Home Road. Ashley, a number of local businesses showing their support.
Yeah, Barclay, some of them already putting work aside for the day and stepping out along Washington Road. We're on that part of Washington Road that's kind of a corridor of car dealerships. You can see here we have Milton Rubin. They've taken a break from work. They're standing alongside the funeral procession route on Washington Road. They've also got flags out here. We were here as they put those flags out. One man told me today's a tough day for him. Barclay Mary, he knew Investigator Ridley personally, so he said it's a sad day. You've got Jim Hudson Lexus here. You can see that their staff coming to line Washington Road as well. They have flags of their own. If you go further down Washington Road towards the church, Corbin Jones, State Farm agent, he has flags, a wreath out front. Miracle Nissan has flags out front. And then if you come back this way, this is the way that the procession will be going on Washington Road. If you head to Buick GMC down there, they've got one of those big, impressive flags you often see in front of car dealerships. That's at half-mast. We talked to all of these businesses earlier this morning and asked why they wanted to do this. They all gave very similar, simple, but meaningful answers. They wanted to show their support for first responders. They hope people driving by, whether they're part of the procession or not, they hope they feel that support here today. Barkley, Mary, back to you guys in studio.
All right, thank you so much, Ashley. We do appreciate that. A lot of businesses paying their respects to this deputy.
And we did just get word into the newsroom that they are starting to exit the Warren Baptist Church where that funeral is wrapping up, and so you were taking a live look. Mary and I, we watched the beginning as they filtered in, and there's Mayor Greg Carswell with the out of Waynesboro. So law enforcement and members of the community from all across the surrounding area, but the overwhelming support, and not just from law enforcement and the family, but the community as well.
Oh, absolutely. We're told that the governor of Georgia is here as part of this group of people who are paying their respects. They're heartbroken, and they all, when an officer is killed in the line of duty, it is such a brotherhood. They all come together to remember their fallen friend and colleague. So this is what you're seeing now.
Yes, and that includes the pallbearers, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office Honor Guard, and then the honoraries are members of the Narcotics Division, of which he was most recently a part of in the Marshal's office. And we are going to go to break right there and be right back.
And you are looking live at Warren Baptist Church now. All law enforcement attending the funeral of Investigator Cecil Ridley, saluting their fallen comrade.
He served for 17 years with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, passed away 1 week ago today while under part of a team that does specialized investigations to help keep our streets safe and violence and crime down in our area.
We are told that the body has left the church in the casket and is now on the way to Bellevue Memorial Gardens.
For more information and to continue to watch our coverage, go to WJBF.com.